first we'll start with my Christmas tree. Christmas tree. It's not lit because I have to get to church. So now we're going to slowly walk. There's a fat cat. Hi, fat cat. I know, you're so cute. So this is the process that I have to go through. I usually start feeding around 6 o'clock, sometimes 5 o'clock, depends how early I get home from work. It takes anywhere from 14 to 17 hours, depending on how fast I can make the infusion. It just depends. If I do it, sometimes if I go too fast, it hurts my intestines, so I have to slow it down. I'm at 50 milliliters per hour, and I use approximately 4 to 5 what they call cans of formula every day. So this is my formula. It's called Jevity. Each can is 355 calories, 8 full ounces. So this is how I get all of my nutrients and my vitamins and my caloric intake, because the disease I have is called gastroparesis, and every time I would eat or drink anything, I would throw up. So my weight went really, really low, and my blood work was always really bad because I wasn't getting the nutrients and vitamins that I needed. And I've had the disease for 2 years, and I've had the feeding tube. Hi! I've had the feeding tube since November 10th. They wanted to put it in a long time ago, but I've been fighting it. But I'm glad I did it because it's like the best, worst thing ever. So these are some of the medical supplies I receive. These are some IV bags, 1,000 milliliter IV bags. Those are 500 milliliter IV bags. And then all those boxes back there is my Jevity formula. And then I get, these are pre-filled syringes for on the go, what's called flushing, and I'll show you that. Has some alcohol swabs, and then this is what they call IV drainage sponges. They have to go around where the tube goes into my stomach, because I do get like, it's normal to get like drainage from your body's fluids. So I had actually already put this in here. When I travel, instead of having it on the IV pole, this is the pump. I named my pump Seymour. So this is Seymour. He is a Kangaroo Joey pump named from Covidian. Covidian is the name of the company. And this is my 500 milliliter IV bag. And I use this pole when I am home. It's just a regular IV pole that has this clamp to be able to put this on here. And when I'm not at home, when I want to go out at night, like last night I went to the theater, I have to take all of this and I have to put it inside a backpack. It's a feeding backpack. And that's what this is. This is a feeding backpack. It has like areas where everything goes, and then on the outside, so you can get to your feeding pump and be able to do things, you got this. And I'm going to learn how to convert regular backpacks into feeding pump backpacks, because that's really small and I have to carry that in my purse and then another purse with supplies, and it's just too much. So I've been watching YouTube videos and I'm going to learn how to do it. And I even bought a sewing machine. And then this is my pouch. This is what the tube that's in my stomach, it coils into here. So that way it doesn't flap around. Like right now it's flapping around. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. Okay, so this is my tube. Oop, there it is. So this is my tube. BAL means balloon, because there's a balloon that holds it in place inside my stomach. And there's actually 2 tubes that go in. One is the jejunal tube that goes into my small intestine. The other is the gastric tube, and that goes into my stomach. And these are separate tubes that are inside the big tube. So there's 2 little tubes inside the big tube, and then it goes and it sticks out about 10 inches, and then it goes into my stomach. And this is where it goes into my stomach, and this is the IV drainage pad. So the first thing I have to do is I have to change the IV drainage pad. I change it probably 2 or 3 times a day, because and I always have to look to see if there's any drainage, because I have to check for infection and stuff. There's usually there's a little drainage on that, but it's not too bad. So then I take my new one and I'm gonna put this down. So I'm gonna try to do this so you can see it, but I do have to use 2 hands. So I open this up. This is gonna be a long video. I'm gonna put it on YouTube. So I open this up. Whoop. I get all my supplies out before I start. Like you'll notice, you know, and I wash my hands obviously. So like there's like a pre-filled syringe, there's a cup of warm distilled water, and then there's another syringe, and it's dated because they say to only use the syringe for a week, and then you need to use a new one. So here's this. So then let me just turn this way, and I don't know how to do that. I'm trying to do this so you can see. Okay, it's a little weird. So I take this. There it is. I take this, and there. See how there's split. It might be better if I do it this way. Maybe I might be able to do it one-handed. Hold on. So I take this, and then I take it, and I actually let me do it. Actually, no. If I do this, I'll put it up here. That will work. Okay, and then I'm just going to. Okay, so I take this, and then I take it, and actually, do you want to see where it goes in? Let me show you where it goes in. So this is where it goes in. I'm not sure how good you're seeing this. So this is just like a weird thing. I'm not really sure of the purpose of this, but this is where it goes into my stomach. You know, and it basically looks like that, you know, all the way around. It just goes in. Hello. Okay, so let's put it back here. Okay, I always take my shirt and put it up like that because it just makes it easier so the shirt doesn't get in the way. Sometimes I'll tuck it under my brow. So I take this and I do one way because there's two inside the pouch. So I do one way, and then I do the other way. And they actually, you can make custom drainage pads like of Snoopy and stuff like that. So I'm going to be learning how to do that. I'm also going to be learning how to make a custom pouch, that white pouch that I showed you. Then I throw this away. So I've already got my stuff. Inside of the bag, so I'm good there. So now what I have to do is I have to do what's called flushing. So hold on, I'm just kind of moving some stuff around here. So now I have to flush my tubes. So I think if I put this here, this is like a two-person job to video. Okay, so here's my tubes. So I was talking about venting. You can see inside, I think you can see inside the gastric tube, there's like some stuff in there. It's because I ate some Smarties. I can eat candy like Smarties or Runts because they're sugar and they melt. I can't eat any solid food at all. If I do, it gets stuck in the tube and that can cause a lot of problems. But like I can drink coffee and I can eat broth and stuff like that. And I do chicken noodle soup sometimes, and then like I have to chew it really good, but it still comes out. It just comes right back out. And before I had this tube, I was vomiting all the time. So this is actually a lot better. So I have to vent this because you can see it's really full. So let me just put it like this, I guess. So I open it up. I don't know what you can see here. So, and then I vent it out, and sometimes I'll just let it sit like this, because a lot of times, you know, like I drank coffee today, and I had a whole bunch of Smarties. I gotta be careful, I can't be having so much sugar. So I had a whole bunch of Smarties, and now this is the gastric side. So this is coming from my stomach. So everything that I put in my stomach today is now coming out. And it's usually, I have to do this multiple times a day, or else what happens is it will actually leak. It will leak at the tip here because my gastroparesis is really bad, and so the pressure of whatever I put in my stomach pushes this little valvey thing. It pushes it out just enough so it leaks out the side. So actually when I have this coiled up in my pouch, I always wrap tissue and stuff around it so it doesn't leak through my clothes. So I always like see, some of you like I always get like some little schmegma. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flush it. So let me put this like this so I can show you. So I'm gonna use the pre-filled one just because it's quicker and I'm already running late. So you just take this and then you just put this inside here, and it's funny because like I can feel it, you know. I can feel it. I can feel it going in and stuff. It's weird. It's definitely a life adjustment. So I've kind of flushed that in, and it just keeps the tube clean. They have to change the tube out every year, so I'll have to have surgery every year to get it changed out, and they test its functionality every 3 months. And by the way, my tube's name is Audrey. So if you figured it out, see, look, see, it just dumps right back out because my stomach doesn't want it. If you figured it out, it's from Little Shop of Horrors. Audrey was the name of the plant, and Seymour was the guy who fed the plant. So I thought it would be kind of cute because, you know, feed me Seymour. So Audrey's always saying, feed me Seymour. So I kind of just tap it, especially when I'm in a hurry, I just kind of tap it to get it out. So I guess it's kind of a little gross, but it doesn't smell bad. It's like, I had some chicken noodle soup earlier, so it smells like chicken noodle soup and it smells like Smarties. It's because my stomach doesn't work. It's paralyzed. So what happens is the food just sits there, and before it would sit there and then come back up. And now it just sits there, or now it goes in and it comes out my little gastric tube. So that's nice and done. So I'm gonna put this back down, and I should get somebody to do this with me, but most people don't want to see it. So okay, so I get some toilet paper, kind of clean the end of it. Like there's still stuff in the tube. I don't know if you can tell or not by the video, but so that's gonna come out later. I'm gonna have to vent it again. So, and then I always, you know, try to keep it clean because it's a little gross, you know. I mean, I'm used to it now. I mean, it's better than throwing up. I mean, I guess I kind of am throwing up. I just throw up through my tube, that's all. So let me dry my hands. Hold on a second. Okay. So now what I have to do is I'm going to open up the jejunal side. Sometimes there's just a little water in there. And I'm going to take some of my warm distilled water. And I have to do a certain amount because I have to make sure that I get my fluid intake. And what I'm doing is I'm just making sure there's no air in here, because I don't want to put air in my intestines, because then, you know, I'll have gas. So I take it and then I put it inside the jejunal side, and then I push. And it just makes sure that it's called flushing. It just makes sure that it goes in and makes sure that everything's functioning properly. And I usually go too fast, so what'll happen is, like, I'll push it in the jejunal side and it backs up into my stomach. Even though it's in my small intestine, it actually will back up into my stomach, and then I end up having to do this. And I think I did it, so yep, see? It goes right into my stomach, and then I end up having to dump it out of my stomach. So get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Okay, so it's a process, you know. I mean, it's definitely added some time to what I have to do every day, but it's really worth it, you know. So people are always sad, oh, you have a feeding tube. It's called a GJ tube, gastric jejunal tube. People are sad, and I'm like, don't be sad, because my life was really bad for the past 2 years. It has just been really, really hard. So, and I'm healthy, and I'm putting on weight, and things are good. So I'm going to close that bad boy up. I'm going to rinse this out. And I usually just kind of sit them right here. Boop. Yeah, just kind of sit them. Hello. So kind of rinse this. And then I clean out my syringe. And it's, you know, I have like my little routine. And I put this in a special place to dry. And then tomorrow morning I'll be switching out my syringes and putting the new date on them. Okay, so I have to go over here and dry my hands. Hold on. And I always, you know, because I'm a neat freak, I have to, you know, clean everything. So now what I have to do is I have to get the pump ready. So what that means is I have to prime the pump. So I turn the pump on. Ooh, I think I got water on the lens. Sorry about that. So I turn the pump on. I want to clear my settings. And then I look and I see, okay, so I've got about 475 milliliters. I'm supposed to have almost 1,000 milliliters, but because I'm going out, I'm using the smaller bag. So when I get home, I'll just refill what's left and reset the pump. So right now, oh, see how it's telling me right here? It's like, Heather, you didn't load your set. What that means is on the top here, this is where you load your set. So there's all this tubage, and this is really hard. So this goes in here like this, and it goes down, and then this wraps around pretty tight around this little weird thing, and then this goes in here like that, and then this comes out the other side. So that's called loading your set. That's like how the entire pump works. So, and then you close it. It's not closing properly, so I have to check it. because sometimes I do this wrong. And it's just, there we go. Okay, so now it's closed. So now it's ready to go. So I have to adjust my feed. My feed rate, I'm only at 50. The goal is to get to about 85 because then it will only take like 8 hours, which would be great. And then I won't have to feed in public anymore. So, but unfortunately my intestines can only handle 50 right now. It was 40, so I'm actually doing better. And then I put how many milliliters are in here. So it's about, when I say 475, yeah, it's about 475. So, 7. Oop. 5, and then I hit enter. And then I hit done. And now I have to do what's called prime the pump. What that means is that takes this and it brings it through the tube. But first we have to close the top. And I'm probably going to have to use 2 hands for this because it's kind of a pain. So yeah, I got to use 2 hands. So I'm going to put this down real quick. I'm sorry, you can stare at my bathroom. So here, I'll try to hold it close to the camera. I don't know if you can see. But you have to close the top of the IV bag. Here, see? You have to close the top, and then you have to lock it down. So I gotta close it, and you really have to push, and then lock it down. Click, click. Okay, so now it's closed and locked down. So now I have to prime the pump. So you undo the tape. This is really hard to do with one hand. Here, hold on, I gotta use my arm. Okay, so I undo the little tape that comes with it, and then I just kind of flap that down, throw that away. On the end, there's always a cap. There's the cap. So what I do is I take the cap off. Hold on a second, I'm trying to do this with one hand. So I take the cap off. I have the camera under my chin. I take the, come on cap, you can do it. There, I take the cap off and then I put it on top of the IV pole, because like when I take a shower, I have to put this on. I put this on hold so I can unplug and shower. This is called a Christmas tree end. That's the end that actually is gonna go. It's gonna go into the jejunal side. But first we have to prime it. So we take this and we hold it, or place it in there, and then we have to say prime pump. And then we have to hold to prime. So we have to hold that down while it primes. So I'm actually going to put, I don't know, I think this is videoing upside down. So I have to put that there, and then I have to wait. And like it goes through. Like you can watch it. It like goes through. See? Whee! It goes through. Then it goes all the way up. And then it will come out. And you never do this while it's attached to somebody because it can really hurt them. Okay, so now it's done being primed. See, so now I like to take the cap and put the cap back on it. So that way it doesn't, make a mess. Because I have to put it inside my bag, which I'm not going to video that because I can't do that with one hand. But I'll show you when it's done. Okay, so now I'm going to put it inside my travel bag so I can go to church, go to Bible study tonight, and then I will be back and I will show you what it looks like inside the bag and what it looks like, what Audrey looks like with the pump, or with the pouch and then the pump, and then we'll be set. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I have it inside my feeding bag now. There's like a clippy up here, and this clips to the top of the IV bag. Then there's extra support with sorry, I'm not good at this. With another clip that goes around the top. This holds it in, and then there's 2 things at the bottom. There's 2 straps here that holds it in to keep that down. There's 2 holes, so you can put it on either side. I seem to always go to this side. I don't know why. It's just kind of become what I do, so the hole goes through there. Now, Seymour himself, which is the pump, he's inside here. He's right there. So then this closes, and then there's this Velcro thing that latches him in. And you got to be careful that you don't kink anything, because if you kink the tubes, the machine yells at you. And like at work and stuff, it's like really embarrassing if I'm walking around and all of a sudden I start to beep. People, I'm new at my job, you know, and people have noticed it and they have asked me questions, and some people haven't said anything, but eventually everybody will know, and that's okay. I'm kind of getting used to it. At first I was really embarrassed, but it is what it is. So now I have to zip it up, so I have to put that down. So zip, zip, zip. And then, right, usually at church they do a potluck dinner, which I really don't need to go to because I don't eat, so Bible study doesn't actually start until 8, so it actually is okay. But I like to be there for social, you know, even though I don't eat, I just sit there and I'll drink like tea or something. Okay, so it's zipped up. Okay, so now it's zipped up, and then like I said, like this is where, sorry, it's really hard to do this with one hand. So see, and now I can see. Oop, I forgot to say I was done priming. So now that's, you know, I can see because it has this. So when it beeps, I can just quick open this up and be like, what's going on, you know? So the tube is coming out the side. See, it comes out the little hole, and it goes do 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 do. Hello. You gotta make it fun. Okay, so we're there. Okay, so I'm gonna take the cap off again. So let's take the cap off again. Sorry, I have the thingy under my camera is under my chin. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this back here so you can kind of see what I have to do. Okay, so here is my Audrey. So I have to open up. I always like to make sure there's nothing there. So I have to open up the jejunal side. I take the Christmas tree end, and then I take it and then I turn it to make sure it's tight. So now it's in, so I can actually just let it go. I don't let it hang. I always wear, you know, my pouch, because hanging is really dangerous because you can pull it out, and if you pull, there's like a balloon. There's a balloon. Sorry, this is really hard to do. Like there's a balloon that goes around. This is really difficult. Like here, you know, the tube goes in here. There's like this big balloon on the inside of my stomach that holds it in place, and you can literally rip it out. So I'm like really paranoid about that. So I am very, very careful with the tube because I'm thinking that would really hurt. So, okay. I think I'm doing this upside down. I don't know. I may have to edit this. If it's upside down, I'm really sorry. Okay. So, and this is me going to church in pigtails. Hi! Okay. So now it's all hooked up. So now what I have to do is I have to turn it on. So I go over to here and I say run. So now it's running. So 50 milliliters is gonna go in me. So you do the math, it's 475 millimeters with this bag total. So 50 into 475 is how many hours it's gonna take. And then when I come home, I have to add like another 400. So, you know, it takes a while. I usually feed until about like 11 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes it goes until 1 if I don't start it until late. And then if I can take anything internal, like if I can eat soup and I don't vent, and I can like, I vent like probably like 3/4 of it out, but I can count what I don't vent out. I can count it towards my caloric intake. So that's actually kind of cool, you know. So I don't have to use as much feed. So, okay, so I think I'm going to put this here. Okay, so I don't know if it's upside down or what's going on. Actually, let me put this up here. I'll do better if you guys can't really see what I'm doing. So now I need to put the, oh, actually, no, I'm going to see, I do this every single time. Okay, so I have to put the belt on, and I can't because I have it already hooked up. So what I have to do is I have to pause it. There's a hold button, so I'm pressing hold. I have to take this out of Audrey. Okay, close this up. And then this is my belt. I do this every day. You'd think I'd be used to it, but I do this every single day. I forget to put the belt on first. And this is a medical belt. I'm gonna learn how to make custom ones because they're more comfortable. They're not as stiff. And I figure, you know, I mean, if you have to have this, you might as well make it fun. So I'm gonna learn how to make Snoopies. So this goes through the hole, and then I can take this and put this back in. Blink. Okay, so now I gotta start it up again. Run. Okay, so now it's all better. So now what I have to do, and I'll put this here so maybe you can get a better view. So now I'm going to kind of squat. I'm a little too tall. Okay, so now I take this and I make sure that it's in the right spot. And I wrap it around. And this is really big because I've gotten really small. So, but you can tell that I've put on a little bit of weight, which is really exciting, which is really weird for a girl to say. But so then I take this, like this is a size small, but it's still too big. So, and then in this Velcros, I Velcro that there. And then what I do, because my gastroparesis is so bad, and like I said earlier, this side, the gastric side leaks because my body just wants to push stuff out, and you can even see it's already starting to want to push stuff out again. But I don't really have time to keep flushing it right now. So what I do is I take a paper towel, and this is just like my own little invention. I take a paper towel, let me do it like from the side maybe, and I wrap it like this, and I wrap it around the G side of the tube. And then I take some medical tape. Hold on, I gotta find my medical tape. Hold on. Okay. Then I take medical tape and I tape it. It's a process, you know. I mean, I used to be able to get ready in like 5 minutes. Now it takes me like 30. You know, I mean, it's, you know, but I think as time goes by, I'll get better. I hope so. And if not, it's okay because my organs were shutting down and my kidneys had stopped functioning and my liver was messed up. So, and this has fixed all of that. So if it takes me 30 minutes to get ready, then it's worth it. So then I take regular Scotch tape because I have learned that medical tape is not waterproof. So I take Scotch tape and I put it over the top, right where that G-tube top is, because if it leaks through, it won't get on my clothes. Because I've been out, you know, and it's leaked through on my clothes, and it's really embarrassing. So, and then one time, like I didn't put this in tight enough, and when I was getting ready for work, it like dribbled onto my pants, and I didn't have time to change, so I had to go to work with this big formula dribble on my pants. And like the only way to get it out is like through the wash. You can't like just hand wash it real quick in the sink. So then I put that in there. So now when it leaks, it'll be okay. So then I take this, and this is my little belt, and then I coil it. And when you coil it, you have to make sure that you don't kink it, because if it kinks, it's not going to feed. So you have to be really careful. So, and I wear it like this too when I'm not feeding, but when I'm feeding, I have to keep the one side has to stay open. And then I put my shirt down. And then that's it. And then I take my feed bag, which is, I probably should name my bag, but then I take my feed bag and I have to wear, it's just a backpack. And unfortunately the tube hangs down. I haven't really figured out, I've tried to put it in my pocket, but then I keep kinking it and it keeps beeping at me, so I just let it hang, you know. And then, so this is kind of what it looks like. Actually, let me go to a bigger mirror. That fan is loud in there too. Hi, kitty. So this is what it looks like. So like, I don't know if you can tell. This is what it looks like, you know, with the tube. And then that's the backpack. I don't know if you can see it, you know, it's small. But then I have to carry my purse. And in my purse I have medical supplies, but sometimes it's not enough. So I have another purse that Grandma actually loved because she liked the design. So I have this one, and I use this for medical supplies. And I bought this bag. I'm gonna try to convert it into a feeding bag because I can use it for my purse, my medical supplies, Seymour, the IV bag, and everything. And I got this sewing machine so I can learn how to sew. I haven't used it yet. So that is the process that I go through. At night, I just use the IV pole, and I keep everything on the IV pole. So, and it's really hard to roll it on the carpet. So when I buy a house next year, I'm not going to have any carpet because this is a permanent situation. There's the plug too. It's dark in here now, but there's a plug. I have to plug in the pump every night. This is a permanent situation, but I might qualify for what's called a mic button. And what that means is like this. Instead of it being like this big tube that coils up, it's a little bit more flush. and it only sticks out about this much, and then there's the balloon, the J side and the G side, and all the tubing is detachable. So I won't have to, all I'll have to wear is a pouch, not a belt. It'll be a little bit flusher, because like when I wear clothes, I mean, you can see that there's something, I mean, other than the fact that I've got, you know, a tube hanging off me, you can see that there's something there. And I was self-conscious about it at first, but the Lord has blessed me with the ability of being healthy again. My kidneys are functioning. I'm putting on weight. I have to be careful though, because you can still gain too much weight. I'm putting on weight, and I'm healthy, and I can go out with my friends, and I can make plans in advance, and I don't have to cancel because I'm throwing up. I had 5 ulcers from vomiting, and they're healing. So this is a really hard thing to go through, but it has really literally saved my life. So I'm very blessed, and I have my days, of course, everybody does. Earlier today, I was having a problem because I was upset. Last night I was upset when I got ready for the theater because I had this beautiful dress, and then I had to have a tube and a backpack. But it only lasts for about 5 or 10 minutes, because then I remember how I was before this happened. And nobody saw me except for Kevin. And it was bad. I looked really bad. I was always sick. I was always vomiting. My stomach was always excruciatingly painful. And when my kidney stopped functioning and my liver function was off the charts, it was time, and I accepted it. I prayed on a Thursday night. I prayed to God that He would just please fix me. I didn't care what it took. I would do anything. Friday morning, my doctor came in and said, "Heather, I'm sorry. We can't wait anymore. We have to do the GJ tube." And I said, okay. It was an answered prayer. The first week was very difficult. I had a pity party. I did. I felt sorry for myself every day. I cried every single day. I was alone. I had to go into the hospital every 4 to 6 weeks for infusions for the past 2 years. And I moved out when Kevin and I split. I moved out on a Tuesday. I had to go in the hospital Wednesday for the infusion, and then that Friday they put the tube in. So I was alone, and it was really scary. But it's okay now. My faith has really gotten me through. My love of the Lord, and I have a great church family and a great support group, and I'm very blessed. But I am a single Tubie. Tubie is what people are called who have feeding tubes, and I'm single, so I am a single Tubie. So that's basically how it works. Probably very boring and maybe a little gross, I'm not sure. But this is my life now, and it will be until they come up with a cure for gastroparesis. I support gastroparesis in every way I can. I'm trying to bring awareness. I donate. I use Amazon Smile, and I donate to every purchase I make. Money goes towards a gastroparesis foundation. There are little kids who have this, and I'm an adult, and it's hard. I can't even imagine being a child and having to deal with this every single day for the rest of your life. I mean, I'm 44. You know, I'm probably halfway through, if not more, of my life. So I'm blessed that I didn't get this as a child. So if you do use Amazon to shop, I beg you to please have a portion of your everything you do go towards a gastroparesis foundation to help people like me and people like little kids who have this horrible disease. So there's my PSA for the day. I gotta get to church because they're probably wondering where I'm at. Okay, all right, bye. Love y'all. Bye. How do I turn this off? Ah! And then here's me being weird. Wait. I see you. Okay, yeah, I have to be strange, because if you don't learn to laugh, if you don't pray, live, love, and laugh, then you're not living.